Hey everyone, and welcome to John Talks Indian Cinema. I am your host, the Indian Cine-MANIAC, back with another 10ish-minute review recommended by you, a fellow maniac out there. So the movie that I will be reviewing today is from 2012, and it's the film PIZzA, and it was recommended by at Mahesh slash dot Bhavana 111. Mahesh Bhavana 111. I'm going to say Mahesh, okay? So he recommended this horror slash comedy film, and it was directed by Karthik Subbaraj, and it stars Vijay Sethupathi, who I am a big fan of. But I have to say, he looked like a kid in this film compared to the films I've seen him in. Maharaja, Merry Christmas, and Vikram. So much younger. Remya Nambeesen, who is in Pushpa the Rise. Aadukalam Naren, who is in Pushpa the Rule. And Karunakaran, who is in Raatchasan. This is a Telugu film. Excuse me. And the story. The story is of a young couple who are in love and live together. And she gets pregnant, and they're deciding if they should get married or not. And he also happens to be a pizza delivery guy. And as one time he delivers a pizza into what we are led to believe is a haunted house. And in this house, he gets locked in, and awful things begin to happen to him. And there are deaths, including apparently his beloved Anu. And then now look, I have to tell you about this film if you have not seen it. I'm about to spoil the hell out of this film, okay? So let's establish that right away. Okay, so I'll give you time if you don't want to know about this film and the spoilers, then I'm going to give you a few seconds to get away. Okay, here we go. And 3, 2, 1. Okay. So what appears to be a film, a ghost story film, and pretty effectively, I don't know if scary is the right word, but it is creepy, and there's a lot of tension in this film for a big chunk of the film with very little dialogue. It then turns into a Bonnie and Clyde film, and then it goes back to being a ghost story. Now, I have to tell you, there were things about this movie that bothered me, but overall, I was into it. And once they got to the plot twist, I was a little pissed off about it. So I'm going to give the story a 4, even though it went in a direction that it was tough to swallow. Let's put it that way. And I'll explain why as I go through this. Excuse me. The performance. Now, I guess I should talk more about the story before I get to the performances. The whole thing starts off at the beginning. It looks like a Blair Witch Project thing, or Ghost Hunters, where it's a night vision camera, and there's a bunch of guys in a haunted house. And then the camera pulls back, and you realize that the main couple in this is watching a show like Ghost Hunters, and the main characters are Michael and Anu, or the couple. And she's big into ghost stories, and there's a little banter about that, right? So you know ghosts are going to play some part in this. And then once he gets to the house, the haunted house, that's when it goes like crazy. And I guess I can't talk about performances because even though the I thought to get to the ending twist, there was a lot of cheats that happened. And there were. There's no denying that. But his performance, VJ's, especially when he was in the house, was like unbelievable. He was so good. And like I said, very little dialogue. And that was, I don't know, a half an hour to 45 minutes in the house with everything happening to him, but he's barely any dialogue. So it's all face, his sweat, it's all, just freaking out, and it's like very believable. Then when it does the twist where it's all made up to steal diamonds, and it doesn't even matter who it's the guy who owns the pizza place that he works for. Now supposedly his daughter's possessed, and that's a whole nother thing that I didn't understand. This guy goes to the house and he sees the daughter who seems possessed, and that gives him the idea to do this because his boss, whose diamonds it is afraid of ghosts. So if he concocts this ghost story, then this could work. And so I would say because of his performance, I thought everyone else was okay, nothing great. I thought it was a 4 only because of him. I mean, he was so that scene in that haunted house, he was so believable. That's what I found about the ending being disappointed. And now there wasn't typical of a Telugu film. There's background music the whole time, and sometimes annoying. Now, when he was in the haunted house, and to me, the best part of the film is when he's in the haunted house. That's the best part, or the house that is haunted. It's not a haunted house, because that music was terrifying, and it really helped build the tension. And there were pop scares, but there wasn't a lot of them. It was just the buildup of what is actually happening here to him. So that was just, so I give the music a 3 because the incidental music was fantastic. And this is where it gets tricky for me, the verdict, because the believability of being in that house is what made the film to me. But the twist shows that it was completely made up. And to me, that's a cheat because they're showing you this, right? He's going through the emotions of this. And it wasn't like, although he does this, he's explaining what happened, right? And they're buying into it. But instead, they give you 45 minutes of it actually happening to him. And now you're supposed to believe after the twist that this didn't happen. Everything you just saw and was emotionally invested in didn't happen. So that I found and then at the end, so they get the diamonds. She takes off. Everyone thinks she's dead. No one's ever met her. They think she's dead, right? So she's safe. He's got to get to her, but he can't yet because it'll be suspicious. And he's still got to get everyone to buy into his ghost story. Now, the last scene in the movie is he's delivering a pizza. He goes to this house. It's kind of got the same vibe as the other one. He goes in the house. The door closes. And a little girl walks up to him, who is the little girl in the haunted house of the original, of the original haunted house that he saw in his telling of the story. She's there. So that's how it ended, and it goes to black. So so I guess my verdict on it, because I didn't buy it, but I still, up until that point, I really liked it. So I'm going to give it a 3. And I will say that I probably would have given it a 4 if they didn't do that kind of a cheat. Now, I hope you understand what I'm saying when I say this. Um, because that did kind of bother me once it happened. I was like, "What?" So all that we just went through never happened. It was all made up, and I'm emotionally invested in that because I thought it was real. So that's what I think about that film. Mahesh, I'm just being honest. It was really I really did like the tension that it built. I thought he was, and seeing him so young, VJ. First, I wasn't even sure it was him. That's how young he looked, and obviously he's bigger now, a little fuller face. But I just didn't recognize him. But to see him that young, and again, he was so good in that scene in the house. That alone is worth seeing it. But again, it was a cheat. It was a cheat at the very end. That's what I feel. It's my opinion. And when I talk Indian cinema, I talk honestly. Okay. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section because I read reviews on this and the reviews are pretty universally good. So I might be being a little harsh on the film, but I can just tell you my visceral reaction to when that twist happened. I was like, oh, so that was all fake. Everything I just watched and cared about and liked was all fake. I don't know. But let me know what you think. I'd love to know. So please do that. Okay, that's it. So if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, hit the notification button, hit the like button, and as always, please share because that's how this Maniac community is going to grow to the amount of subscribers we need to really make a dent in the algorithm. So until then, thanks for watching John Talks Indian Cinema, and I'll be back with either a 10ish minute trailer reaction or a 10ish minute review. Thanks for watching, everybody.